The Bernina 570 embroidery machine is quite packed with features that not all embroidery machines have. And we're going to take a time to kind of go over sizing, rotation, moving, mirror imaging, all those basic things that you can do to a design. And we're going to just start with a built-in design. So touch the folder with the butterfly on it. In each of these folders is a whole bunch of different designs. I hope you'll take some time to stitch out one from every folder. I think you'll really get a better idea of what is built in. So let's just for fun take this first design, and it always will come in the hoop size that it will fit in. So if this was a smaller design, it might have actually come in the medium hoop size. Obviously, if it's too big for the hoop or you've enlarged it too much, you will see that it will actually be red around the edges. So what if we wanted to stitch it in that smaller hoop? We have a smaller area it needs to go in. Let's take that as our first thing to do. Touch the I for information. Touch the sizing feature. As we're sizing it down, it was actually subtracting stitches. So it actually will be it will be the perfect density actually. If it's been sized down, it has less stitches, and if it gets sized up, it has even more stitches. So I am going to go back. We do have the oval hoop on, so let's just go ahead and pick that. If we want to go back to the normal setting, anything that's yellow that we've changed, you can touch that box and it will go back to the default setting. So instead of you having to dial in back to 100%, just touch the box and it goes back to normal. Now back to this screen, we're still in the sizing. Do you see this little link or lock? If you touch it, what it does is it makes the size change only, say, in the vertical, and then also the top knob would actually change it in the horizontal. So we could make something really skinny and then really tall by stretching it out. So it doesn't have to be proportioned, or if you do want it proportioned, put everything back to normal, put that lock back on, and now you'll see that it's sizing at the same rate. Definitely make sure you don't go outside the hoop size. We can kind of come back in, and then we'll know that we are at the max area of that design fitting into this hoop. Speaking of hoops, we do have one more larger hoop. Check out your Midi option. You can see it goes another inch wider, and that hoop is available at your local Bernina retailer. Okay, so we've kind of done sizing. Let's talk rotation. So rotation, you can have single degree rotation, or my most common one I use is actually the 90-degree rotation. So 90, 180, 270, and then back to 0. So that's a pretty common one. Again, if you turn in the degrees and you go, oh gosh, I really want it back to 0, touch the box that's yellow, and it goes back to the default number. Moving. So when you're actually moving a design up or down, you can actually touch and drag it on screen, or you can fine-tune it with the knobs. So you're seeing we use these knobs a lot in the embroidery world. Again, if I want it back to the center of the hoop, I can go ahead and touch and clear off those changes. We have mirror image side to side. So as I touch it, you kind of see that flower bouncing back and forth. And then we also have mirror image up and down. So we have lots of options. This is a duplicate, so you can see that it will make a second one. So if you wanted more designs on your hoop, stitch out more than once, you can definitely do that. With one of those selected, we can touch the trash can, and we'll ask you, are you sure you want to delete it? Yes, I do. And then we can move this back to the center, so we're back to where we started. Check. Check is going to allow us to, and if your hoop wasn't on, it will have asked you to put it on, to actually trace around the corners and see where it's actually going to stitch. And then the last one here is density. On this screen, you've got two options to change the stitch type. This one here will adjust the density. So if the satin stitch isn't covering up your fabric enough, you can actually increase and make it have more stitches, or you can actually change a satin stitch to a fill stitch. So instead of stitches becoming really long, especially if you've spread something out or enlarged it, those stitches can get kind of on the long side. you have an option with just a little switch of the toggle to change it from satin stitch to fill stitch. Fill stitches are when the stitches go back and forth and fill it in instead of one long jump side to side. So you have full control over some of those more fine-tuned areas as you need them. I'm going to just X out of that, but you do have all these options and functions that you can apply to any design that you have on your screen, including lettering. So check out all of our other videos. Our Embroidery Essentials online class is a great way to master this machine from start to finish, and we have 20 videos that you can watch for free. Just check out those links below in the description.